Welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imagined user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw, but you may know me as @TheShaw.
And I'm your host, David Khourshid, also known as @DavidKPiano.
And together we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, keyframe companions. Any new ones, David?
Oh man, you got me. I got nothing today.
Excellent.
So today we'll be creating an animation from scratch live, just like we do every week on the stream, using HTML, CSS, and a small bit of JavaScript.
That's right. And David, what time is it for you?
Ooh, it is. Well, I have 3 different clocks going on right now, but officially it's 3:37 in the morning.
3:37 a.m. That is that was a delightful time. Why is it so late for you? Or early?
Because I'm in Finland for React Finland. I just gave a talk today, and so that's over.
Nice. How did that go?
It went well, and I was planning on taking a nap today, but then I ran into Ken Wheeler. You might know Ken Wheeler.
Ken Wheeler, yes.
Yeah, Ken Wheeler can take a 9 p.m. night and turn it into a 3 a.m. night.
That is true. Yes, I've actually had the pleasure of working with Ken on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, we didn't ever officially work in person together, but one of his libraries from back in the day, cache.js, a small jQuery alternative.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, he added me as one of the contributors to it, and I maintained that for a little while. It's gone a little lax lately, unfortunately, but I think we'll find a new maintainer for that soon. Got to get in touch with Ken about that. Anyway, so what was your talk on, if you don't mind me?
So my talk was on state machines, state charts, the same sort of stuff that we've been doing. I don't think we're going to do them today, though. We probably don't need to.
Yeah, I think we can get by without it. So shall we dive right in, David?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see what we're working with. So yeah, this is a dribble from Igor Pavlinsky called "Website for an Extreme Travel Agency," which is a great title. And we stumbled across this a couple weeks ago and thought it was rather interesting. Let's see, we sent this link out earlier in the week, so hopefully you've had a chance to look at it. We'll take a deeper dive in here using our favorite extension, GIF Scrubber. And let's see what that looks like here. So the starting frame is actually not really the start. It starts...
yeah, they tend to be like that. And I always wondered why, and I think it's because it's for the looping, to make it nice and smooth.
Yeah, and to give the initial frame an interesting state. If you start off on the unloaded state, it looks very boring when you're looking at it just from Dribble's main view. So they start it with a worthwhile keyframe, basically. Okay,
Right.
So we've got some interesting things happening here. Let's see. Okay, mouse hover, video plays, and then click to toggle a video modal of sorts. And then the actual intro animation is here at the end. Let's look at that really quick. All right, so the 2 videos kind of slide in with the play button and the navigation and the title slide in on the other side here. And then let's get a look at that play button. Okay, so clicked, and we've got some expansion. That's rather interesting. Think we can pull that off?
I think so, and I think we might even be able to avoid using ClipHat for doing that.
Yeah, yeah, I can think of a few
We'll
ways
see.
to get there. But okay, let's at least get to the default state here in our pin. Again,
Yeah,
we
I'm
are
trying.
using CodePen collab mode, and this allows us to be working on the same piece of code at the same time, and we can kind of see the changes live as we go. And we've done a little bit of setup here.
I'm trying to deal with your video tile things. Here, let's hide them for now. Here's what we have.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the best show you've ever seen. Keyframers, and we've got our navigation over here. That's beautiful, and a nice subtle drop shadow happening. Okay.
And now we have these.
Okay. So yeah, those are looking a little strange. What can we do to get these started?
That's a good question. So looking back at the animation, I'm just scrubbing through here. Let's do this. I'm going to delete the videos in the video tiles just for now, because they're not present in the original animation. So I'm guessing that they're actually not videos. The only video comes from the actual play button.
Well, there is.
I'm gonna kill them.
There is a little bit of video when
you're right.
When you hover, the video is actually played. So that's why I have in the setup here we've got the image and we've got the video. So my thought was we use the image for actually setting the size of the container and kind of and doing all of that, and then the video is just position absolute inside of that to be revealed when hovered, and then with a little bit of JavaScript we toggle that play state and all that. Let me add loop.
Fair enough.
True. And what is that? Video buffer. Let's see. We don't want autoplay, but we do want preload.
Yeah.
And
so I'll tell you what. How about you take a look at the video tiles?
okay.
Because there's a couple things I need to set up for the video play button.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about like how we could do that using transforms and that sliding layers technique we talked about last time.
Yeah, so we kind of dove into sliding layers a bit more last time, or last official time that we were fully together, coding together with the goat images. So let me see here. I should mention we got these wonderful videos from a website called Cover with 2 R's. That's cover.co. And it's a great site for just free to use videos. Got a couple different categories you can filter by, and you just download them and get the MP4, and you can kind of do whatever you want with them. It's a pretty permissive license. You just can't resell them, basically.
I think with the 2 R's, it's actually Spanish, like cover.
Gotta roll that.
Right Colbert.
Sounds like you're saying Colbert.
All right, ignore me.
Okay. All right. So getting back to these video tiles, I'll take that on. Make sure. Okay. Position relative.
Yeah. So it was just the sizing that was like.
Yes.
Figuring out what to do there.
Okay.
All right. So how are you going to size them exactly?
So I've got video tile position relative, and then the video is going to be position absolute within that. I'm going to z-index -1 it to get it out of the way so that we are just seeing the image. And me... okay. So I see you've got some positioning on those. I'm going to take those off really quick. Here. And whoa. That's pretty nice.
Okay, so that's a good whoa. Now that wait, no, that's a bad whoa. Sorry.
I am hiding the video toggle right now. I just set style display none in the actual HTML.
Oh my God.
So have fun with that while I get these going. Okay, so let's start doing a little bit of positioning like these. Okay, so video tile first. Let's go.
Thankfully, locally on my machine, I could just edit the styles in the Chrome panel, and so I could undisplay none them, and you're none the wiser. So
I am fine with that.
that's what I'm doing. Which it will work until you save, and then all my stuff will be screwed. But that's okay.
Yeah, isn't there something in the dev tools where they started to allow like saving those local changes? Am I missing that?
I'm not sure.
It was in one of the latest releases. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please share a link for that in the chat.
You're actually right. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Video. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Those are some big mountains.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's go.
No worries. Are we doing a keyframers or are we doing a Bob Ross? Let's do it.
They do look like happy little trees. Let's say.
They're very happy little trees.
Let's go 30% for that one. Okay, getting closer to the true layout here. Left 30%, 50% on that one.
You know things get serious when you actually need a pencil and paper.
Oh.
When you're doing these animations. In this case, I'm getting the dimensions of the video because we're going to be using those.
Look at you go.
Yeah, I'm so thankful I got that swag from the conference that, you know, you usually get swag and you never use it, but I'm going to use it now. This is from a company called Go For, like a gopher, or like go for it.
Huh.
And so we're gonna go for it. We're just gonna.
Well, speaking of swag, I've got my official CodePen water bottle here that I'll be drinking from to keep my voice nice and sultry.
I need coffee to keep my voice nice and alive.
You are surprisingly lucid right now, I will say.
Well, I don't think I've ever really adjusted from my normal time zone.
Oh, that's
just
helpful.
because, yeah, I've been staying up to like 2 or 3 a.m. every single night this night. Right, so 285 pixels width, 160 pixels height.
You want to explain a little bit about what you're calculating?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, you know how a camera shutter works? You know how it's like it's a bunch of like the aperture, it could like close and it could open, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully you all know what I'm talking about in Twitch, but or YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or Vimeo if you copy this video and put it over Vimeo.
Hey, don't do that.
You could, yeah, don't do that. You could take 2 layers, right? And you could sort of smush them so that like the little viewports where they're intersecting is very small. And then in order to make that viewport bigger, you just move the layers out at the same time. So that's sort of how a camera shutter works, and that's how a camera is able to close and open really quickly.
Yeah, I've got
because
some.
Obviously nothing.
I've got some GIFs of it going on the stream, so they can kind of see that if they haven't seen it before.
Okay, cool. A GIF is worth 1,000 pictures.
Okay, got that. All right, let's do.
Man, I wish we had like a separate keyboard just for the Unicode characters we use all the time.
And a separate emoji keyboard?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to get those crappy MacBooks. So I'm not willing to stoop that low.
Okay, so if you are looking at the latest, I've got the hover states perfected. Look at that.
Wow. I'm not looking at it at all, but I could imagine.
No, they're not perfected at all. But what I have done is set video tile on hover. The image goes to opacity 0, and the video is kind of shown underneath. So what I'm going to do with that is break this out a little bit and do video tile image, and then hit opacity 1, add a nice transition in there for 3 seconds linear, and then we can see a little bit more of that beautiful transition. You can see, however, that the video behind it is fine for this one, for the more 16:9 layout, but the one that's more of a portrait orientation has a little bit of trouble. That is because the video is kind of responsively sized. So, instead
get rid of that max.
Right. So we need to say max width none, and height 100%. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so nothing there. What we actually need to do is max width, max height none, min width 100%, min height 100%. And this will not get us there. Oh, geez. Okay, there we go. Hey.
It's almost right.
Let's do a little overflow hidden here. And then bottom 0, right 0. I think that's what I'm missing. Percent here. And then a little margin auto magic to get it lined. Nope. I need my 50%, left 50%.
Ooh, do I gotta use text shadow? I haven't used text shadow in so long.
Why not?
I'm currently working on the toggle button right in the middle, which you can't see because Shaw has destroyed it.
Forcibly hidden it. Okay. Well, I've got got the hover state working here. Let's do.
Okay.
Sorry, let me get these again.
It's funny, you don't use a property for so long, you forget how to use it. So, text shadow. I know it's not like box shadow exactly, or maybe it is.
It is. It follows pretty much the same syntax there. It's just a little bit different.
Okay, then. Well, it's still hidden.
In that it doesn't have like the final offset optional parameter.
Right.
Let's see. Let's do that. And this way we get. Okay. Cool. So I've got the videos appearing on hover, but they aren't playing yet. How do you approach the this kind of solution?
Well, I mean, you could just. Oh damn! Did you have my toggle again? Where's my toggle?
I didn't do anything to it.
Okay. I'll look for it. Anyway, for this one, you could just attach a simple event listener, and we'll be fine.
Attach a simple what?
Event listener, so we could do on hover, and then we could actually play those videos.
Yes. So I've got happening here. There's some wonderful JavaScript that I'll explain in a moment.
You'll probably see my toggle now because I unhid it. I figured out where you were hiding it, or you probably told us already, but still.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and add a console.clear and clean that up a little bit. All right, so array.prototype.map.call on a document query selector all function, and then I've got a little function after that that's going to run for each of those items. Because array.from isn't supported in a lot of questionable browsers, quote unquote browsers, I
still. What I'm gonna do?
Jerk.
You know why though? Because now I set it to Babel, and so you could do that in CodePen. You could set the preprocessor to Babel. So now that's going to work.
Well, and it's still array.from, I believe, still accepts a second parameter that runs for each of them.
Oh, okay.
Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So the second parameter is a map function, which we can see here in the MDN docs for array.from. Yeah, second function. So it's a map function called on every element of the array. We don't specifically need to keep a reference to this call, so just running a map function here is essentially like for each. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, should I do it the listener on the video itself or the video tile?
Probably the video tile, right? Yeah, the video tile, and then you could, for each of those elements, you could do a query selector for the video. Or you could do that.
Well, let's just see what's happening here. Let's see if that works. Nope. Not quite. Okay, so let's go back to the video tile and see what's happening. Oh, hey, it helps if I specify the correct element. Hold on. Okay, we're getting our mouse enter. Nope. Okay, so we'll scratch that. Video equals l.query selector video video.play. Okay, why is our, there we go.
What'd you do?
I fixed it.
Oh my god, that's pretty cool.
That's a nice little effect. Let me close out here. And, okay, so the problem right now is the video is continuously playing, so we have to have another listener.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like you hover over and it just keeps playing from where it left off.
Right. So now add event listener. Now, this is one I always forget. Is it mouse leave or mouse out that actually...
mouse leave. Yeah. Because you enter and then you... Out isn't a verb.
Well, mouse out is a function. I always have to pull up the Indian events list.
To be fair, I made that exact same mistake like a day ago. So.
Okay, so let me see. Mouse enter, mouse leave. Okay, so mouse out will run anytime you move off one of the children. Mouse leave should only trigger for the element itself.
Oh, okay. Cool. Today I learned.
Now I'm going to set the image. Whoa. That's a big play button. There we go. Okay, cool.
Sorry.
It seems to be working, so that's great. Awesome. Now, what I need to do as well is set video.currentTime equals 0 to reset it. We've got a comment in the chat from Sav saying she uses pencil and paper all the time when she's animating stuff because so much math is going on. I agree there.
Hey. Yeah, it's really useful. I'm using pen and paper today because I am a badass and I like living life on the edge.
Man.
Yeah. See that? You see that complicated math there? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Actually, let me make it more complicated. All right, there we go.
Whoa. Is that an array there?
No, it's a sigma and it's an integral.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Sorry if the stream keeps dropping in and out. Not much I can do about that right now. Let's see. Okay, so one other little thing on these hover states that I wanted to look at. Okay, so there's actually a little bit of a zoom that happens on the element itself, or a little bit of an enlargening that happens on the element itself. Transform, translate, scale 1.1. Let's just try that and see. Beautiful.
Do you see a tiny little white rectangle in the middle?
No, I am not seeing any.
Oh, did you hide it?
I didn't do anything. Thanks for adding that blue stripe, by the way. How did you accomplish that?
Okay, so I used linear gradient, and one of my biggest gripes with this is that in order to get like those solid white lines, and I still probably didn't do this as well as I would have liked to, is to go from like 50% to like 50.1, because what happens when you just do 50-50 is, I actually don't know if it works. It might not work.
Yeah, it might have issues in certain browsers, but I believe that works.
Well, you sure? Hold on.
It's rendering fine over here.
Okay, I guess. I don't see really solid lines. I see like blurry.
They do look a little blurry. I'm not sure what that is or why that is. I am zoomed in here, so let me see if that helps. Wow, goodness.
Yeah, well, no, we're gonna call it an artistic choice. We want that blur. We want that.
So, in such cases, what I would do is use a pseudo element.
I guess you could do that. But the background is a little bit nicer.
Is it?
Well, okay, go for the pseudo. In a pinch, backgrounds is if it's a nice, simple background. That is, I mean, obviously, if you're doing gradients and stuff, it's nice to have that.
Let's see.
I'm trying to justify myself, my poor decisions.
Hey, I'm all about gradients, but I do like these pseudo elements for a lot of reasons, mainly being animation, but also let's move this up a level and see how that looks. Let's see. Okay, it's a little bit darker there. Oop.
What are you adding? Yeah, I was about to say that looks pretty dark.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
All right, I am seeing that square now. If you want to reveal what you're doing, that's fine.
Sure.
I'm just striping here.
Where's my stripe? I need my blue stripe. There we go. Very nice.
Kind of.
All right. So if you want to scroll down to video toggle, I could sort of explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it.
Okay. Sorry. Let me.
Whoa.
There we go.
Okay. So, are you where I'm at right now?
Probably not. Where are you?
Down by video toggle. So dot video toggle.
Okay.
What, did I do this wrong? That's weird. I had an error in CodePen and then it just disappeared, which is not a thing to complain about. Really,
when I'm editing things at the same time, that's always a risk.
Ah, okay. So when I see an error, I just assume it's a Shaw error.
Right.
Okay, so right now I have a white rectangle, and actually I have to fix this little before thing. This should be height 10 rem and width 10 rem. Position absolutely at the top, although now I don't know where it went. Oh, wait, I know where it went. Okay, so yeah, right now I'm just doing like the sliding layers technique. And so there's two divs, this video toggle and video toggle inner, and they're both full width. Like, believe it or not, you see a nice white rectangle, but in reality, they're full width. So 0 bottom. Yes, there we go. Okay. And so what's going to happen is right now they're transformed. They're translated so that they intersect each other. So it's sort of like a Venn diagram, right? But they intersect each other so that the end result is a viewport that's 10 rems by 10 rems. And I like using rems just because it's a nice universal unit.
For those who don't know, what is a rem?
Okay, so an M is well, the size of an M. It's very cleverly named. Like literally, whatever the font, the normal, your normal document font size is, which in most browsers the default is 16 pixels. Your the width of your M is going to be, well, 16 pixels, right? However, with M's, like if you change the font size, like just as you go deeper in the tree, and the size of your M changes too. So if you change your font size to 10 pixels, then your M becomes 10 pixels, and that could produce some unwanted, effects. But if you have a rem, then it's always going to be based on the root font size. So it's always going to be 16 pixels.
That's right.
If your root font size is 16 pixels.
Yeah, and that's such a handy thing to know. Like your M is going to vary depending on what your parent is and what the element is and your styles and everything like that. The rem will be a consistent unit throughout. I've gotten to where I use it for spacing all the time, so that I don't have to worry about keeping my padding and things like that consistent.
So, quick trivia for all of our listeners or viewers, and you could go ahead and type this in the Twitch box if you know. Let's see who answers it first. Where would you use M's where you can't use rems? Anyone? I can't see the chat, so you're going to have to tell me.
I'm watching. You can keep going, and we'll see if there's any answers.
All right. You might get a prize. Probably not. All right, we'll see. We actually didn't plan this. Okay, so to this video toggle, we have, those two intersecting layers. And when just for now, when I hover over them, and I think it's hovering the actually, no, it's not. You literally click it. But for now, when I hover,
we do have an answer in the chat here. Let me see.
What is it?
Where would you put M's where you can't use rems? Notorious B1T, Christopher answered HTML.
No, you could use M's there.
Well, you can't. You can't use rems
rems
on the HTML element, correct?
Well, yeah, you can. It's pretty redundant, but you can.
Okay. All right. So that was my guess as well. So let's see if anyone else knows.
Yeah. We should do like little trivia challenges. I think that'd be fun.
We have different definitions of fun, but yeah, I'm with you.
Have you never been to trivia? It's like the best way to realize how much pointless stuff you don't know. Like all these movies you haven't seen and actors that you don't know and books that you've never read and dates that you've never memorized. Oh, it's fantastic. And so you just get drunk and, cry.
Sounds
how I
lovely.
do trivia. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm just kidding. I don't get drunk. I just cry.
Well, that definitely affects your score.
I was like, why isn't this hover thing working? That's because I put pointer against none for your convenience. Anyway, so when I hover over this toggle, I'm setting transform to none, and you see how it just explodes? Like it gets huge. Okay, so now let's see what happens if I add a nice transition thing. So I'm going to do transition, transform, let's do 0.6 seconds, and let's do a manual cubic Bezier just because that's always fun. I'm trying to think how it's going to look. So it's just a smooth effect all around. So I'm just going to do 0.50, 0.51. Nice and simple, but also really nice.
Okay. We got a nice slide here happening. However, the issue is it's happening when you hover anywhere on the document here. So I am going to fix that really quick with pointer events none. on the main, and then pointer events auto on the before. And then on your hover.
You know what you could do? You could put the pointer events auto on the inner, actually.
Well,
I was thinking before too, but the problem is that, your before will pretty quickly get out of the range of your mouse.
And my solution for that was setting it on hover there. Which actually is how it needs to be, because unfortunately the video toggle inner is still having some issues. I see. Yeah, there we go. All right, so what's basically happening? And we can do it there too. That's a nice, good solution. Okay, in the chat, Christopher responded, interesting. From the MDN, rem represents the font size of the root element, typically HTML. When used within the root element font size, it represents the initial value. So one rem always equals 16 pixels in HTML unless it's reset with the user setting or in your CSS. So I think I have a guess to your riddle, David. Would you like to hear it?
I would.
The root element, the colon root. Is that?
All right, so I'll just say what I was thinking, and I mean I could be wrong, but I remember this from where I'm probably wrong. Was media queries. When something is like max width and a certain, I forget exactly why, but the common knowledge is to use M's and not rems for those.
Yeah, so, I do remember reading that, and I can't recall the reason. But yeah, you're not talking about your declarations within the media query, but actually
that was the trick question part of it.
Right.
But yeah.
So if you had at media, min width, 20 rem, that could potentially break things, because if within that you set HTML font size 30 pixels, then boom, your media query is just exploding back and forth.
Right.
So interesting. I forget why that specifically is okay with M, but not rem. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, I'm seeing that beautiful slide, but looks like our play button's going off to the side here. So what's the next step?
It's a good question. I'm actually trying to fix the. Okay. Well, that's not it. Man, aspect ratios are hard because this video, it's like not exactly the. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. So let's take a look back at the animation and see how this play button behaves. It literally disappears like really, really, really quickly. But at the same time, it's also like, no, you know what? It just disappears. It damn disappears. So we're just gonna make it fade out.
Oh, the play button?
Yep. It's just gonna go. It's gonna go right by. So when you hover, and we're gonna replace this hover with an actual like JavaScript thing, because we want to do it. Yeah. So we want to do it like when we actually click, or it'd be fun if this play button was, I don't know, a button. Then we could actually do the focus.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we click the button, it's active or focused. No, yeah, it's not active, it's focused. And so while it's focused, we have this dialing on it, and that way we have the affordance of if we click anywhere outside the video, we lose focus. So we have like a whole natural, like, I don't know.
I'm with you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did that go?
So.
Oh, are you moving it?
Yeah, I moved it down to the bottom just to enforce it overriding the other styles.
Gotcha.
But I put it in the wrong spot. Just a moment. There we go.
Hide the CSS. So things might change.
That's cool.
And everything's gone.
So I think what needs to happen also is the video. Okay. Yes.
Well, all right, something funky is happening.
Yeah, I'm fixing a few things. Supposedly. Okay. Sorry.
While you're doing that, I'm going to set up the 3D environments because that's another part that we're going to need to get to. And then I'll talk about that. I'm good?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. So what's happening there? Oh, that's right. I need to counteract that.
Doing 3D anything in CSS always feels like a ritual. Like there's all these properties you need to set just to make CSS happy enough to do 3D. Like transform style preserve 3D. It's like you're doing a dance to the gods. Like, will you please let me do 3D? And then the perspective stuff and backface visibility and all this fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So
Totally worth it though.
I know what I'm going for here. I can't remember why.
Did you know that you can't translate something by degrees?
Unless you're...
This has been...
Well, yeah.
It has been late night David.
Okay. What?
What's going on?
Okay. I think that's what I need. So I'm trying to get the toggle working right here, or the transforming, and I know there's something off that I've got to. Okay, I think that's what it is.
Someone's playing with dishes over there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Please.
Have a coworker still up here. That's right, I am up at the office. All right, I need to inspect something, so try not to reload on me here. Let's see. Okay, so we've got video toggle. Where's video toggle inner?
Did you set to not reload? Or?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Hold on, let me
I'm frozen
change
here.
that real quick. Okay, Auto-updating preview is off. It's a handy little feature. All right, so you should be fine.
Cool.
Okay. And we've got some dogs having a fight outside.
Oh, lovely. One over there.
Okay, I'm going to turn auto-updating preview back on.
And as you can see, I did some treatments to the images coming in.
Sorry, I think I'm just breaking things here. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the 3D?
Sure, yeah. So I need to do a couple things to set the 3D environment. Like I said, first one is transform style preserve 3D, and that preserves the 3D-ness of the transform style. That's exactly what that does. We also have perspective 1,000 pixels. I always go for 1,000. Just like it's a good vanishing points natural thing. I just like 1,000. Of course, you could play with that, especially if you want to get to isometric projections and stuff like that. So by doing that, I have this video tile enter animation, and it's just first it starts off like 30% translated to the right and also rotated on the y-axis. So a trick to tell like which axis to rotate on is like literally imagine your x and y axes like as if you're staring at it, and then imagine like rotating something on those axes. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's not even an analogy, but that's always what I do. I like envision like a cross or axes, and then think about rotating it. And so to determine the direction at which you rotate, I know there's like the thumb rule, like which way your fingers curve when you point up or right or whatever. But the way I do it is I try one value, and if it's going the wrong way, I just change it to negative or positive. That's easy enough for me.
Yeah, that's basically how I approach it as well.
Yeah, and so another thing I want to talk about is like the duration on these animations is 2 seconds, which seems pretty long. However, the actual animations seem a lot faster than that. They seem to come in and then just ease to a nice stop. And so that's like the whole idea of perceived duration.
So you've just kind of got the long long kind of cubic bezier.
Right. Look,
trailing out.
I just changed it, and it should feel a little faster now.
Let's see.
Actually, I'll make it like super fast. So
I killed the auto updating preview.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Try now.
Okay. You see it now? Anyway, yeah, the point is, like, the majority of the animation happens in a shorter duration than the tail end of the animation. But the perceived animation is that shorter duration, not the entire 2 seconds. And so that's why a lot of people say, rule of thumb, use 0.3 or like keep it under 400 milliseconds. It's like, you want to keep it looking like it's under 400 milliseconds. Not exactly 400 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Just make it look fast. Don't make it take too long. But it could, if you make your animations longer with this nice tail end, it could look fast and it could have a nice natural easing out effect, or easing in. So that's what you could do there.
I like that. Okay. So I'm doing some classic debugging techniques of setting background colors and borders on everything. Hide the video.
I do the same thing.
Oh, you broke.
Oh,
You broke
what
something.
are your colors of choice? I like red, I like blue, purple sometimes. So whatever's easiest to type, you know?
Yes. What do you keep breaking?
Oh.
Okay, why is the video not hidden here? I have opacity set to 0. Display none. Nothing. Alright, why is this not reloading? Hold on, I need to refresh, it might kick you.
Okay.
I think CodePen was wigging out on me. Oh dear.
That was a big yawn. Sorry.
Okay, I think. Okay, there we go. All right. What are you changing up there? It keeps bumping me down.
Oh, sorry about that. So, what I'm doing is I'm adding just an animation to the text. You know how it slides in from the left.
Yes.
Super. Okay, so that's all I'm adding. Nothing to be afraid of.
All right. Let me not translate this and see what's happening. Oh, duh. Oh man, you and your carrots.
What?
The direct descendant selector.
Oh yeah,
I've been
those are important.
I've been debugging for however long we've been doing this stream because of that.
Just a one.
Okay, nice.
Oh, I see what you're.
You see what I'm going for here?
Well, yeah. did you do one step forward, 20 steps back, or
Something like that. Left 0, top 0. Okay. And let's make sure all of these set. Okay, getting closer here. We'll start adding overflow hidden again. Let's see if that breaks anything. Okay. So the sliding layers technique, if you can't get the result you want, just keep adding layers until...
Did you add more layers?
Yes, more and more
So
layers.
how many layers are we at right now? How deep are we going?
Let's see. Okay, there we go.
I need to calm this down. This animation is going a little crazy. I'll take care of that.
This is probably the most talkative we've ever been on the stream here.
Really?
No.
Want another CSS trivia question?
Of course.
Oh, let me think of that. I'm going to do more of those. I think they're fun.
I'm good with that.
All right. So, how are we going to expand the toggle?
Class toggle is probably going to be the proper way to go.
Okay. I mean, that works.
If you'd like to set that up.
Me? Okay, fine. I'm just going to put a nice Unicode arrow in there. But yes, I will set it up. Okay, so basically what we want to happen is have a class. Do you have a class in mind? Or...
Ooh, good question.
Actually, you don't. And where's the arrow?
Yeah, sorry. Things are jumping around. Trying to get our sliding layers right here.
Function the vector selector. All like these guys. Fairly quick. We're picking the because I don't want to pick something that has the pointer against none. That would not be good.
Yeah, you'll want to. Well, you can attach a click listener to the parent, and then and that'll apply even though it doesn't have pointer against none, because it'll.
Well, I'm wondering which one right now has pointer against none.
The parent will have pointer events none. I've got it disabled right now while I'm doing some debugging.
Okay, so what we'll have. I'm just wondering what I should put the pointer on.
Attach it to the parent, because that'll be the.
No, I mean the quick handler.
Oh, yeah. Attach it to the parent there, the video toggle class.
Okay. Even though pointer events is none, which means it's not gonna.
It'll bubble up from the child, or should. We'll find out.
Oh, you're right.
Usually am, David. Usually am.
Hence listener, and we're just do a nice little click. And so when that happens, we want to toggle the class. So let's video toggle L equals. Do you like that convention? Adding like L to the end of your elements things.
L to the end of your elements?
Yeah, like, well, you don't have it here. So, for example, a video tile, if you were selecting that individually, you might do video toggle L, or maybe video toggle Elm, or something like that. Or
I see what you're talking about. I usually. There you go.
Oh, money.
Exactly.
See, what I was thinking we could do was like, and hopefully this could become a trend. We do L video toggle and have it like be Spanish, you know? L video toggle. We're gonna do that. That's gonna be our new thing.
So that is a male pronoun. Is that correct?
It is. It is. Yeah. I was gonna say like there's like the whole gender neutral thing in Spanish, but that's with plural. So if you do like los, it's gender neutral. To the best of my understanding. Okay, so I'll video toggle, we got it quick. And so video toggle dot toggle or class list, right? Dot toggle, I believe that's what it is.
All right, I'm going to need your help with these sliding layers in a minute. I am blanking on why this is not lining up the way I expect.
Oh, the video? The actual video?
Yeah, so if we go back to the animation, you can see what I'm trying to go for here. So the play button actually stays in place as it's fading out, and the video kind of expands out from the origin, as if that was a clip path, kind of cutting into the video and then expanding around it to reveal the video, versus the way the video is actually sliding right now.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
yeah,
honestly, you still just need two layers, and then you would just translate the video at the same time.
Right.
So the video would start off translated, sort of.
Okay, so
I think.
Should I just remove inset here?
Probably.
Okay, let's do that. Inset. Well, I think my hope was to keep the before element also in place. So.
Which is fine. That'll work. So instead of trying to make like, basically my thinking was just make that before pseudo elements disappear.
Well, sure, it will disappear, but it's supposed to stay in place at the same time as it's disappearing.
Make it disappear so fast that people won't know that it moved.
I'll know, David. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go the simpler route here because we'll need to wrap up soon.
Simpler route's best for now.
All right. So I'm removing inset. Let's take that off. Help me with the video alignment if we can at least do that portion. That'd be great.
Okay.
We'll move this back. And
by the way, just so you know, I changed it to click instead.
To click?
Yeah, but it's acting a little bit funky.
Oh.
I did something wrong. Oh.
Active. Yeah, I don't have everything aligned just yet, so bear with me.
Yeah, but clicking works, so you could just click.
Yeah, I messed something up with the alignment. Sorry, can you help with that video toggle enter the transform? I've got wrong somewhere.
Oh wow, it's completely off the screen.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe you press Command C a bunch of times. That's usually my fixing things technique. Ah, there it is. It's back.
Okay, so if I remove the transform, it's fine.
Yeah.
But oh, I know what it is. Sorry. Right.
Okay. I don't touch anything.
Bottom. There. 1%. Okay, I got something happening. Okay. %. What did I type wrong here? Okay. There we go. All right, and flow hidden on both. Okay, I think we're back to where we were. And we've got our click toggle happening. All right, so that's what I want. And then here.
Sorry for the push down stuff. You can see that right now.
What's happening?
What's your favorite black color? I know that's a weird question, but like. Like, do you like just 000 or?
I'm partial to true black. Yeah.
Okay. I like it like a 1 3 1 3 1 3, maybe a 1 1 1. I'm
Whoa.
feeling lazy. Stuff like that.
I think I know what it is. 50% plus. Okay. I think that's what was wrong. That's pretty close. Right. I have no idea why these numbers are working or not working, but
Okay. I like the effect right now.
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
You just have to kill that before elements quick.
Yeah. Okay. So
wait, you actually have to make the video effect, so which is pretty easy.
inner
So easy that I'll let you do it.
for opacity 0. Okay. And what we can do there, add transition, opacity 0.3 seconds linear, and add a 0.6 second delay on that. Actually, probably more like that. And then I'll explain what I did in just a second. 0 seconds once I make sure it's working. Okay. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. All right. Oh, hey, you're triggering play there?
I am, and I'm not triggering pause. They only have one shot at doing this video.
Okay. So.
But we want to make them like go between play and pause.
Right. So what we can do is check the class list for active, and then do a player pause based on that.
It's like a really crappy state machine.
AKA every website I've ever built.
Alright, so we just need this condition thing.
Right.
And
isn't there a class list dot has?
Alright. Fonts condition equals L video. No? So I'll go check this out. Matches. Active. Okay, so now let's try it. It works. Yes.
Cool.
So that's a fun selector, or not selector, but method. Matches.
Yeah, that's not a bad trick. So for those that aren't aware, dot matches is a method on elements that checks some kind of CSS toggle or CSS condition to see if that element matches it. So in this case, we're checking for the active class after we should have added or removed it, and then blammo. Okay. So we need to fade in this this play button, and then I think that's it.
Yeah.
And also
very good. I need
animation.
sleep.
Oh, you've got infinite on all these animations. That's why it's killing me. It's refreshing so often. No.
I know it is really refreshing just to watch those animations over and over.
No, that's not quite what I was going for.
Well, we can agree to agree.
Sure. Video toggle. Need to add our pointer events none. And pointer events auto.
Out of curiosity, what font is this?
This is Source Sans Pro, imported from the Google Fonts library.
Okay, I'm going to change that to Open Sans.
You can, yes. I was just looking for one that matched the comp.
Yeah. All right.
Not bad so far. I want to make those animations even slower.
It's time for the sucker. Gray color, CCC.
What's that?
It's funny, the more you do this, the more you just get used to certain colors. Now, the weird thing with me is sometimes 666 is the perfect color, but I just can't bring myself to use it because it's 666.
Yeah. I have a little trouble with that one as well.
Let me use it.
No.
Actually, no, it's too dark.
So one thing I did was separating the fade in from the slide left in our animations. The reason for that is the cubic Bezier easing on opacity always seems really abrupt to me. It's never quite as smooth as the movement appears. So by instead changing the fade in to a linear ease as a separate animation, it appears to come in quite nicely. And I adjusted the time of it quite a bit too.
Okay.
It's looking pretty good there. I can tell you're thrilled with that.
I'm just trying to get like all the tiny little details, like the colors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you know that this animation has 27 different grays?
Yeah, that is something that the project manager should catch before
Should be fired over.
it gets into development.
All right. Well, I'm pretty happy.
Okay. Oh, I know what we need to do instead of. Because right now our hovers are not working for the other guys because we used pointer events instead of visibility.
That old trick.
Mm-hmm. You'll hear me harp on it quite a bit because it is one of the handiest things in my tool belt.
Makes sense.
Well, Still not having those trigger. Let's see. Yeah, that's hovering. Are the hovers aren't working for you, right? On the video tiles?
They're not working for me though.
Okay, so something. Stop here. Oh, you changed all hovers to active.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I went a little overzealous with that.
That's cool. Okay. Awesome. I think that's in a pretty good state. Let me make one more adjustment. Line height 1 on the before. Nope.
There it is. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Some good stuff.
Well, that's a bit strange, but that's okay. All right. Anything else on this one?
No, I'm excited that we got this done in under a little over an hour.
Yeah, we're getting faster here.
Yeah.
And we may tweak some small things as we continue, but yeah, I wanted to real quick. New tile. Okay, it's got the animation there. Upscale.
I'm really loving how smooth this sliding layers thing is. Like, it's 60 frames a second, just butter.
Yeah.
Right now. So that's nice.
It really is. Let's see. Okay. So do you know why our scaling animation is not working on the video tiles? I assume it has to do with the animation that's added.
Oh yeah, because I'm doing both. So
right,
we could probably remove that both and just do
backwards.
Just remove it. Yeah. Okay. And that way it could allow it to do any further animations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it takes 3 seconds, and yeah, that's a little strange. Oh, because I didn't change it for both of them. Yeah, that's the only danger with the All right. I think this one's at a decent state. Would you like to move into Keyflections?
Sure. And this will be quick because I do need to go to bed.
Yes. So Keyflections is our review, just kind of going over what we did and why we did it. Just kind of a quick breakdown for you to understand some of the techniques here again. Now that things are hopefully not as messy as they started off. If you have any questions, please ask in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those as we go. But let's break it down here. What do you want to start with?
So why don't we start with the sliding layers thing? Because that's like this big centerpiece of this.
Yes. Okay. So our video toggle element. Right here, just looking at the HTML, we have a video toggle as the parent, a video toggle inner as the direct child, and then an actual video element that is going to be the video that plays when the toggle happens. So for video toggle, we have it set to position absolute, and width 100%, height 100%, overflow hidden, visibility hidden, and it is transform translated to 50% in the middle, minus 5 rem, and that gives it the nice centered appearance because our button here is 10 rims. And then the inner element is the same width and height, but it is translated negative 100% plus 10 rims. So let's see, if we take off overflow hidden here and give a background blue to video toggle inner, and a visibility visible to it. Let's see. Why is that not working? Good question. Sorry, I'm trying to help visualize what's actually happening here. If you have any suggestions, please let me know.
Let's, you know what? I think I have a code pen. A separate one.
Okay.
But, you could go on.
So, anyway, the inner element is translated opposite of the parent element, and then when we toggle that, just down in the JavaScript, we have a simple toggle here that when it's clicked, the class list is toggled with active, and if it is active with this element video toggle matches active, then the video will play, otherwise the video will pause. And so that inner layer is moving in the opposite direction as the parent element so that it appears not to be moving while it actually is moving in theory. And same with the video child element that is centered within that parent and it's moving opposite that. So there's still a little bit of movement happening, but it's pretty close there. Let's see, plus 15 rem. Maybe that's my magic number there. Yeah, there we go. That's what it is. Kind of.
Yay, magic numbers.
Well, there's some logic to it here, but that's not super important right now. If you have questions, please ask, and I'll explain a little bit. Basically, because the container is supposed to be 10 rem, but it's offset in the center by 5 rem. 15 rem becomes the magic number there to balance it out. And then we just have simple transitions on transform that when it is set with the active class, it becomes transform none, and all that balances out in theory. And the play button just fades out. Cool. And then, sorry, I'm talking a lot. I know you're very tired, David. That's why I'm just trying to take lead on some of this. So,
no worries. I guess I could just explain the rest of.
Explain the animations on load in. I'm gonna change auto updating off so that we can rerun this a few times to watch those beautiful animations come in.
All right, so yeah, we just have some simple 3D transform animations, perspective 1000 pixels, transform style preserve 3D. And so what we're doing is we're just moving each of these photo tiles to the right. Yeah, translate X, and we're rotating them on the Y-axis at the same time, so they're going to come in nice and smooth and do that perceived short duration animation that I was talking about, where most of the animation happens in the front end of the entire duration. and the rest of it just trails off. And so we just have a nice, simple slide to the right animation for the header, the subheader, and all the nav items. And yeah, the effect is pretty nice.
Yeah. And
also use the CSS grid, and that's something you're going to see in all of our animations. I'm not a CSS grid expert, or a lot of them. I'm not a CSS grid expert, but honestly, number one, it's really fun to use, and number two, when you're dealing with animations, the less nested divs and stuff that you use, the easier it becomes to do your animations, and CSS grid really helps there.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more into it. I'm still not fully on board. I need to go through like Wes Boss's course on it, so that I can really understand all the syntax. But overall, I'm a fan of it. And then for the the actual text animations, you've just got a similar kind of deal going on. With some animation delays based on a SAS for loop to get that nice.
These are things that we've also done in previous episodes if you want to look back and see how we did those.
Right. We'll definitely dive deep into some concepts on some episodes, so it may seem like we're glossing over something, but that's just because we've covered it before. So if something seems not explained, check some of our previous work, and we've probably explained it there. Otherwise, ask questions, and we'll be happy to answer that. Okay, and so for the video tile, we did that video play kind of animation there. And what I have happening with that is the video tile is position absolute, so that we've got them in the right spot in this. Ideally, we would probably use grid for that, but I'm not experienced enough with it to get those lined up and layered correctly. So we just positioned absolute, and basically these boxes are being sized by the image itself, and then the video within that is position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, and then transform translated back, negative 50% and negative 50%, with the min width and the min height set to 100%. And what this does is it forces the video to be full width. Now, on the 16:9 one down here, that's not really a problem. But up here, where we have this kind of portrait orientation, the video itself is actually still 16:9. I didn't crop it down. Ideally, you would for file size and everything else. But the image is cropped. And so we have the video within that cropped container that's still filling 100% height and overflowing on the width, but it's overflow hidden so that you don't see those extra edges of it. Whenever you're trying to do a full width video, this is the way I recommend approaching it, because you do want the video to overflow so that you get the background cover kind of effect. One thing you'll want to make sure to do is set max width and max height to none, so that any other kind of boilerplate styles that you might have of like max width, I guess my max height does need to be 100% for some reason here. That'll help it fill that container. And the actual toggling did down here with an array from, and then we've got the query selector for the video tiles, and array.from does accept a second parameter that is a map function, which just runs over all of the elements in that array, or in that array-like object. And so what we're doing here, selecting the video from that element, and then we add the event listeners for when the mouse enters, the video plays, and when the mouse leaves, the video pauses. And then I have a set timeout down here to reset the video to the start at 400, which actually is there video media element. Is there a restart function, or am I imagining that?
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Restart method. Load, pause, playback. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of GSAP. Anyway, and so that helps the video restart back at the title frame there and gives that nice zoom effect each time. Okay, very cool. Anything else on this we need to cover?
I don't think so. Let's wrap it up.
Cool. All right, let me pull things up here and see our final notes here. And give us a nice little bit of music as we go. Watch that beautiful animation one more time. Boom. And beautiful video toggle. I'd say that's pretty nice, David. What about you?
I'd say it's beautiful.
All right.
I'd say we got pretty damn close.
Oh, super cool. You've been watching Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter and Twitch at Keyframers to get notified when we'll be streaming next. We'll also have this video available soon for those who didn't catch the full live stream. So keep an eye on the Keyframers Twitter account for the link.
And if you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more from David and I, you can head over to patreon.com/keyframers to support us so that we can continue to release great content and expand Keyframers. Patreon's just a great platform for supporting artists and creators like ourselves, and it would mean the world to us if you would support us there so that we can make this continue to happen. And if you didn't catch it on our Twitter or around the web, we did do an interview with CodePen Radio and the wonderful Marie Mosley. Is that how you say her last name? I'm always messing up last names.
That's how I say it. Okay.
And it is awesome. So just Google CodePen Radio, and it'll be the latest episode on there right now, or number 171 if you are watching this later. It's a fun little interview. We had a good time, so I think you'll enjoy that as well.
Yeah, we're also accepting submissions for future episodes, and we have done absolutely none of them, but that's okay. We might do one of your choice.
We've gotten one submission so far, so that's you know.
Yeah, that it was a bit complex, which is great. We'd love to see those. Doesn't matter how crazy it is. We talk about it and we're like, is this doable? No, is this doable?
It just wasn't the one for us to tackle this week. It doesn't mean
right.
we won't get to that one, Droid.
Right. So yeah, tweet Keyframers with any animations you'd like to see made, or hit us up on Slack, or send me a letter in the mail with your animation in there somehow.
Yes.
That works too.
And thank you so much for tuning in and watching and just joining us. Your support means the world to us. And let's say we catch you next week.
I'm going to go to bed now.
Good night. Good night, David. Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.